Tulsa King wraps up. Boo, man, I've been high on this show. If you're just watching this video, this is about the season finale, episode 9. I have been high on this show since the beginning. Obviously, The Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, Yellowstone, these creative minds come together. It's like, what if this mafia guy went to prison, 25 years, comes out and they send him away, just shipped him off. And the season has been a roller coaster. I admit there were some slow elements in the first couple episodes. I mean, after episode 1. And I was like, well, and they're kind of like really weren't world building, but man, has it gone crazy. This delivered, and I really loved how they handled the flashback. This is not even like a bunch of spoon feeding for the audience. It's just, let me just show you, not a tell. Let's just show you. Flashback to 97. We get to figure out why Dwight ended up in prison, why the family is protected. And basically it's a torture scene. A guy named Ripple, Armand, is there, so he knows all of this. And Chicky is the dude, and he basically hot brands this guy. Literally gets the stoker and like pokes right on his face, man. And he's handcuffed to like a radiator, a wall radiator. And in the middle of throwing this firebrand down, it starts an actual fire. And anyway, when Dwight comes out, because Dwight basically executes the guy so he doesn't have to burn alive, and the police are right there waiting for him. So when we cut to now, it's right after Stacy has been shot. She's the ATF agent. She's been covering for Dwight, and the spoilers get crazy, guys. So if you don't want spoilers, let me tell you what, this show really does deliver. It does a lot of callbacks and does pull off some stuff. I'll show you about a couple things I thought were a little bit weaker, but I have no major complaints or anything like that. And you have basically like, them trying to put the squeeze on Dwight, and he's like, no. And he goes to the hospital and he sees her, and, they kind of make some amends. The bikers, of course, so you have how that comes to head with the bikers, Waltrip, right? And the bikers are in the middle of this war, basically. And one biker is like, listen, okay, so we have to lay low now, right? And he goes on this big spiel, and then basically just executes the guy right in the head. Like, this show is not going to hold back. Now, where we've been going this season is the increased stress between Chicky and New York and Dwight. And now that the boss is out of the picture, everybody thinks that the boss, Pete, died of natural causes. We know otherwise. This was the only letdown of the show, was they're just there. And Dwight just goes to meet them. It's a tit for tat, back and forth, a little bit of a peeing contest going on. And basically, I thought Dwight, at first I was like, what's he do? He's like rude to Chicky. Right? Like, no, you came here without my permission and we're done. I'm like, holy crap. He's like going to ramp this up. Now, I thought this would be an escalation that would go into the rest of the episode. Basically, it was like, no, Tulsa's my town. We're just done. And where it changes is he looks to Goody and he says, you're going to stay with this guy or you're going to come with me. And he basically gets Goody to switch sides. And I'm like, holy crap. That just happened. That is a really, really big deal. And that's kind of a no-go in like the real world. Like, that's not a thing. You don't get to just switch families. It's a big deal for people to move around or something like that. So this was hardball stuff, and I loved it. I was there for it. So before you get to Dwight's big inspirational speech, because they've got to kind of gather everybody together to get ready for this war, Grace shows up. She was like girl-splaining Dwight at the shooting training scene, because she knows how to shoot a gun. And I kind of like Grace. I shouldn't like Grace. She should irritate me, but I don't know. I like Grace. I really do. So she's fun. I liked her. She doesn't have to exist very much. We have a little rushed plot point, almost like they didn't think of a way. They had to go back and think of a way to anger Waltrip, or to kind of nix everything and possibly set up something that happens at the end. And we go to Bodhi's house and we have sort of this whole thing about Waltrip and the money. And it's basically a contrived way for Bodhi to hack and steal millions of dollars. So that's kind of what happens. But it was kind of a weird crush squeezed in thing here. And then Dwight ultimately gives her a flash drive that has like $1 million on it or whatever. Basically we end up with the war, and the war is set against Phil Collins. It's called In the Air Tonight, which is a huge drum heavy song. And I thought this was fine. I really love the fact that they're so prepared. And Dwight says this in his inspirational speech. He's known as the general, and he's a planner, and he's thought things through, and he's also rugged. He's been through this, right? There's a tripwire, guns go off, and then they open fire. And, so Tyson gets hit. Grace saves Dwight and Tyson at one point. So again, she should be irritating me. It should be like girl power and, oh, she's the woman. I'm like, no, but that's it. It happens and the story moves on. And then Dwight gets in the hand-to-hand physical throwdown with Waldrop. And it's not an easy fight. It's bloody and it's rough. And then ultimately sticks him on the horns in the bar on this thing. And then, of course, make sure he's dead. But this show is brutal. It's in the blood and the muck and the darkness. It doesn't shy away from that. We have sort of like the after scene because we fast forward 3 months. The casino's in the works. Tina's there. The grandkids are there. They're on Pilot the horse. We're wrapping up all our loose ends, right? Dana Delaney, the lady comes and she's the trainer. She's thrown in the mix a little back and forth there. And then at the end, we cut to the scene. It's going to be the casino bar scene. And the setup was the ATF is talking to Stacy, like, well, you can come back, but we want you to bring in, we have a condition, right? And it's a nice little thing. And by the way, I don't know if Garrett Hedlund's actually singing. Can he actually sing? Like he's the dude that from Tron, right? But he's Mitch, the bar guy, right? But can he actually sing? Was that actually him? I don't know. You guys can look it up. I did not look it up. But basically, the mood and the tone changes 180 degrees by having a cut. They go outside. It's Stacy. The cops are there. They arrest Dwight because of the flash drive, like trying to treat it as a bribe. And Tina's there like, was this happening again? Tell me this isn't happening again. He's like, I'm sorry, Tina. And I'm like, okay, see, that's good TV because they delivered. They did setups and payoffs. And they want us to want more. They want us to want more. You're going to want to watch season 1 again right when season 2 drops, which I assume is going to be sometime next year. It's going to take a minute, right? Great characters. We learned a little bit more about Armand. He has some dialogue about fleeing New York after the chaos broke out and not wanting to run away from his problems anymore, right? We get a little bit more of Tyson and Dwight talking about, like, I'm in it to win it, man. I'm in it. Like, you gave me meaning in my life. Like, there are so many scenes that add so much depth. And I admit the New York thing, it's like they're sort of like juggling that situation. Like, they don't quite know what to do with it. It feels like it's just going to be more of that in season 2. It surely isn't over, right? It's still going on. But Stallone is killing it. The secondary cast is great. These other side characters are great. The execution as well. The music is good. I don't know. I love this show. I'm so disappointed it hasn't gotten more accolades, but it's not their kind of show. So why would I expect otherwise? So anyway, that's my take. You guys have been blowing me up about how much you love the show. Please tell me what you guys think. Here's some Bob Ross to go out with, make you happy. I'm loving the show. Can't wait for more. And I'll be on to try to find another show to grab a hold of here for a while, do a weekly review for you guys. So thanks again, and I'm Pops.
I'm Ross. All I do is chill. My life is a thrill, for real, Bob Ross. I be too calm for the drama. You don't wanna cause a problem, I'll solve it, Bob Ross.